Hi, chemistry students. I just wanted to go over this set. This is from page 3 of our notes, and I wanted to help you through getting some examples. And then this could help with your pages on your homework, okay? So my previous video, I go through page 1 of the notes, and then I go over page 2 of the notes, and wanted to go through, looking at the examples. I'm going to show you a lot more with in class, but I wanted to get you a head start learning this so you can work on the homework. I just wanted to emphasize here that you're always going to have the atomic mass on the top, the atomic number on the bottom, the charge on the upper right, and altogether you can figure out the protons, neutrons, electrons by this kind of symbol. This is called the isotopic type way of labeling an element. And I will help you understand more and more, but we're going to be quizzing on this the following week that you're back into the classroom. And you're going to be doing this with only the periodic table and a calculator, okay? So this is going to be like the first type of little quiz without resources other than the periodic table, because I really want you to learn this, okay? So let's go ahead. Again, you should have page 1 completed, and now page 2 completed, okay? And now we're trying to apply all this learning to filling out a table, okay, on page 3. Also, then there's going to be another video to help you with page 5 and 6 for more examples. And I wanted to let you know that I did copy this table twice, and it's also on page 6. So there's no reason to repeat it, but just take note that I accidentally, in my previous years, we went over this after we had some other videos. So this is page 5 and page 6, and there's just more practice. There is another video that goes through all of this to walk you through more and more examples. Okay, what this is leading you to after this video is to start working on this page, and as we start here, I can help fill this bottom part out just to have everything emphasized. And then you want to begin. Now, regular, you should pretty much get 1 through 4 done. And then honors should do the entire page. Honors, don't worry about number 11 quite yet. We're going to learn how to do number 11 on Fridays, either Thursdays or Fridays videos, okay? So, but for regular, just focus on 1 through 4. And then I'll help you out with the answers on 5 through 10 when we get back together next week, okay? So you're really only going on tonight with the homework with page 1 and page 2, okay? That's what we're focusing on for the homework tonight. So let's actually look at this and go through examples. And I wanted to reiterate that we have atomic number is A, excuse me, my bad. Think straight here, Miss Eric. Okay, A is the atomic mass, and that is protons and neutrons. Okay, and then we have Z is the atomic number, and that is P's. I'm sorry, this is, I need to get this taller, and there we go. Sorry about that. So we have the atomic number is Z, and that's just P's. And then we have atomic mass, and that's A, and that's P's and N's. And I thought I'd put A over Z because you normally are going to have a symbol like, say, cesium, our first example. Our first example is cesium, and it has a mass of 133. We're going to put that on top. So A goes over Z, and the atomic number is 55. And this particular cesium has a +1 charge. So we're going to be looking at how all 3 numbers help you figure out the protons, neutrons, electrons. Now, when the charge is 0, it's an atom. And a lot of our atoms are going to be neutral, like aluminum foil is neutral atoms. A penny, copper pennies are neutral. As we get into bonding and reactions will distinguish when it's ions and not. But for the matter, for right now, just this present time, if you have a 0 here, it's an atom with protons equal electrons, okay? But when it's positive, it means it's called a cation. That was the word I was trying to have you write down at the bottom, I guess right above this table on page 3, cation, literally what it looks like. It's going to have more protons than electrons. And depending on the charge number tells you how many more protons than electrons. And then negatives are going to have more, you're going to have more electrons than protons. And so you're going to have less protons than electrons. So you're going to have a negative ion. You're normally going to have more electrons. When you're positive, you're going to have more protons. Okay, so let's actually look at the math here and how to figure this out, okay? Remember that we have Z here. Let's get a little closer here. Z is the number of protons. So this is 55. And when we have 56 for barium, we're going to put 56. The Z is the number of protons. This identifies the element, okay? You also want to have your periodic table nearby. I've got my textbook here. So you want to grab a table. Here's my textbook that has the periodic table. So you want to use this as a resource to get the atomic number. The whole numbers, like for boron, is 5. 5 is the whole number. Sorry, trying to move this here. Excuse me. Boron here is 5. And that is the protons. And then the 10.8 is the average of all the isotopes. Okay, so the 5 is really what we're going to be using to identify the element, knowing that it's boron with the B and so forth. So definitely get your chart out to help you. That's what you're going to need for filling out the homework. Okay, so cesium has 55 protons. It's number 55 on the table. Its mass of this specific type isotope has 133. So what you have to do is you have to subtract 133 minus 55. And that's going to give you, if you do your math here, it looks like it's 78. Okay, when you do your math. Let's just use it on a whiteboard. I think it's a whole lot easier to show you. But when you have 133 as the mass, and you have 55 as the atomic number, you literally just subtract the numbers. You're going to have an 8 carry over, and it's going to be 12 minus 5, which is 78. So your protons is 55, your neutrons is 78. Okay? So then the electrons, because it's +1, it's a +1 ion. That means you've got one more proton than electron. Okay, so you're going to have basically 55 protons and one more makes your electrons less. So you have 55 protons and 54 electrons. So you're going to fill this out and make it 54. And how that looks for the full atomic symbol, which I call it's like it's symbolic notation, is going to have the CS with the 133 on the top, the 55 on the bottom left, and you're going to have a +1 on the upper right. It's 133, 55, and cesium symbol +1. Okay? We're going on to bismuth. Bismuth is further down on the periodic table. It's like to the right. And if you look way over on the right, if you look here real quickly on my chart, here's bismuth. It's got the number 83. This is bismuth 83. So we're going to have 83 for the atomic number. And we have 209 for the mass. So we're going to put Bi. I'm just going to erase the other one up there because it takes up so much room on my marker. So we're going to have 83 on the bottom, 209 on the top. And because it has a 0, that means that the 83 is the number of protons and the number of electrons. When it's 0, that means these guys equal. These two equal. These two equal if you're 0. Okay, these two equal. So not all the time, but we want to have you prepared for, you know, being able to know when they're 0. And if it's 0, then they equal. Like right here, they're equal. 56 and 56. All these are the same because barium on the next line is 0. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to figure out the number of neutrons, and you're going to subtract the 209 from the 83. So this bismuth here, you have bismuth, and it's 209, and it's 83 with bismuth beside it. It's 0 charge, and you're going to subtract. 9 minus 3 gives you 6. The 20 minus 8 is going to be, well, it's just 20. You're not carrying it yet. So it's 209. So you're taking 0. Basically, it's going to be a 2, and then that's going to be 12, 126. So 126 neutrons, 83 protons, and since it's 0 charge, you have 83 electrons, okay? So you're going to fill that in. You have 83, 209, 83, and then you're going to have the 126 neutrons and the 83 electrons. 126 and the 83 electrons, okay? We're going to do the next one with barium. Let's go ahead and just use the white underneath here to save time. I know I probably drag things on when I go back and forth with the whiteboard. But barium has 56. So you're going to put barium with the 56 here. Bottom left. It has 56 Z, 56 protons, 56 electrons. It's just that it has 138. So that number goes up top. So you're going to take 138 and subtract it. Subtract 56. You're going to make that a 2, and then that's an 80, I believe 82. Yeah, because 2 and 6 make 8, 8 and 5 make 13. So you're going to put 82 here. Do you see how you're using this? Okay, you have the top number, and that's the mass, minus the proton number gives you the neutrons. Okay, the mass number minus the proton number gives you the neutrons. Okay, let's do 2 more. We have Zn. If you look on the chart, SN, my bad. SN is 10. SN's 10. It's over to the right again of the chart. It's a large number. I believe it has 50 on the periodic table. That means you're going to have 50 protons. Now, you notice that it's got 46 electrons. We probably could figure it out that it would be 4 more with the 50, but you can always use your periodic table to find it. And then you're going to have 70 neutrons and 50 protons. So this time you're going to add these together to get the big number, and that's going to make it 120. Okay, so some of the problems on your homework, you're going to be doing adding them together or subtracting, but it's always the mass number minus the protons to get you neutrons, or it's neutrons plus protons equals the mass number. Okay, so that's the kind of things you're going to be doing. Okay, we have one more thing to fill out in this row. We want to make the SN symbol, and we want to make it with 50 on the bottom, the 120 on the top, and it's +4. So we're going to put a +4 over here. We got krypton left over, and krypton on the chart, we're going to have 48 neutrons, 84 mass. We could actually figure it out here if we wanted to, just to show you how you can do it without the chart. But you would be getting a 6 here, and that would make it 36. Let's double check. On the chart, it is 36. So you're going to have 36 as a Z, which is the atomic number, 36 protons. And since it's 0, you're going to have 36 electrons. And this last one, to give you room here. You're going to have Krypton with the KR with an 84 top number, 36 bottom number, and it's 0 charge. Okay, and this is predominantly what you're doing on the homework sheet. But to get you started on the homework sheet, let me show you real quick. So at the bottom part of the note sheet, I just literally had it here. Hold on. Oh, crap. 1 second, guys. Oh, it's down here. Okay. So I wanted to just go through here how you fill this in as a little tool that could help you fill out the numbers up top. Let me get this here real quickly in my plastic protector. I didn't think about getting this ready for you. Hold on a second. One moment. Make this all together as one video. I wanted to make sure you had all the fill-in notes. Like usually when I would be doing this in class, I would be going through this quickly and wouldn't necessarily need all the notes. But since we're not together, I'm filling in all these notes, helping you understand. Okay. This is what's called a symbolic notation. Okay. All these things up here, like I have for arsenic. Arsenic is AS, has a top number, mass number over 33, the atomic number. And all of these here are going to be neutral. All of my examples, I believe, are neutral. So the protons and the electrons are going to be the same. This particular example, the protons are going to equal the electrons on this one, okay? Also, when we get back together, I will help you fill this top chart out just because you probably could fill it out actually with the symbol and location. I think you could actually try to fill that out. It's the other parts because the numbers are so tiny. The mass of electron is really small. Notice it's minus 24, but this basically is 1 over 1800 times smaller. So I actually, as I think about it, all you're doing is filling in the symbol, and that would be electron and the P and the N, and you're going to be in the cloud here. You're going to be negative. Here you're going to be in the nucleus, and you're going to be positive for protons and 0 charge for neutrons. You could put neutrons for the nucleus for both here and here. But go ahead and fill that out. I think you could fill that out and so forth. But we'll double check that together when we get back together next week. Okay? Up here, down here, I mean, we're going to have the symbolic notation. We're going to have the symbol like an X for any kind of element. You're going to have the atomic number on, you're going to have the mass number on top. I got mixed up with the A letter. It's a mass number's A, the atomic number Z, and it's always A over Z. So remember that this is mass number and atomic number for Z. The element name is another way of labeling it, and that's going to have the mass number beside the name, like how we say carbon 12 or carbon 13 or arsenic 75. You would say arsenic, the name, and then say 75. That's the hyphenated name way of doing it, okay? But you're going to have protons plus neutrons equals A, which is the mass number, okay? And then when you just have atomic number, that's Z, and that identifies the element. And when the atoms are neutral, P's equal E's, and on this page, that's the case, okay? So you go ahead and try to fill this in, and then you're going to try to fill in page 2. Like I said earlier, 1 through 4 for regular, 1 through 10 for honors, and I will have an answer key. I'll try to post one by Friday, so you guys can check your work to see how you're doing on this assignment, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Get with me, text me. Please get a hold of me if there's any problems, and try to fill out the first 2 pages of the homework packet, okay?